Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Krista with K3 Crafts, and the first thing I want to do is say thank you so very much for everybody who has come over from Crafty Crafts with Dina's channel and shown me some crafty love and subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and left wonderful comments. And a special thank you to Dina. Also, she is just absolutely wonderful, sweet. I have just really enjoyed getting to be a part of her channel and doing some crafty swaps and everything with her. And she's just so genuine and so sweet and is just really, really great. And Carrie Gaines also sent some of her subscribers over to my channel, so I want to give a shout out to her too. Just thank you so very much for helping me start this journey and be on my way to share some crafty goodness and some just fun things. So with that, I've had two people reach out and ask me from my first video how to do a beaded pen. So I thought tonight I would do a tutorial on how I do beaded pens. So these are the pens I ordered from Temu. It's where I get these from. There's an end piece on the pen, the rod that the beads go on. Then you have this piece here that's stationary, and then this piece right here is the piece that twists so the pen comes out, and then you can write with the pen. Here are a few examples that I have. I made this pen tonight, a little Valentine pen, and there's two beads here that are hard plastic. This bead right here is also called like a focal bead, and it is made out of silicone, and so it's real soft and kind of squishy. And I like using these silicone beads on the pens because they are squishy. So when you start building your beads on the pen, on the top part here, if it gets to be a little bit longer than what you'll see on your rod, you can still, the silicone bead will squish just a little bit, so you can go ahead and get it screwed on tight. And I'll show you that here in just a little bit. And then I added a little dangle charms here. There's two different ways that I have done this before. This one is just little jump rings. You can order these jump rings from Temu. You can get them at Dollar Tree. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. And I just put a jump ring on the rod first before I started putting the beads on. And then I just added more jump rings so that these will hang down long enough so that it kind of hangs straight and doesn't kind of come out. See how this jump ring kind of comes straight out, but then my dangles hang down. So I didn't want my dangles hanging out from this one, so I added a second jump ring there. I hope that makes sense. This is one that I was gifted in a swap. And so here again, this one has the dangles with the jump rings. There's the hard plastic beads, and then the watermelon is a little silicone. There's also these little spacer beads that have the real pretty gems in them. So if you did need a little bit more room to take up, these little smaller spacer beads work really well too. The thing you just have to watch out for is the hole in your beads and things needs to be a little bit larger than what I would consider a normal bead. This size of beads, like these dangles, the holes are not big enough for putting on a pen. And here's an example. See how large that hole is on this bead? That's about the size that you need. And so just to watch, because a lot of the smaller beads, see this one does have the larger hole too, and it is a little bit smaller in size than this rhinestone bead. So I'll show you how I measure for these here in just a minute. I don't know if you can see that hole very well. It's a little bit smaller, so it might be iffy if it fits on your pen or not. All right, so let's get started. Here is my blank red pen that I started with or showed you earlier. And usually what I do when I get started and I want to decorate a pen, oh, real quick, one more thing to watch out for is I ordered these little bow silicone charms because I just thought they were the cutest thing. And when I got them, I realized the hole goes through the two loops here because it's was designed more to be like on a bracelet or something like that. But it works better if the hole comes top to bottom so that it would go the right direction on a pen, because the way the holes are now, it would go sideways. What I have done in the past to get around that is my husband just takes a little drill and in the silicone bead, and he just drills a hole for me in the center of that silicone bead, and then I can thread it onto a pen. So that's kind of the way I've gotten around my mistake. So that's something to watch out for when you're shopping around for beads. All right, so back to my pen. So I have my pen here, and I start laying out some beads. I just hold these really beautiful rhinestone beads from Temu, if you watched my Temu haul the other day, and these silicone Valentine beads as well. I really liked this setup. When I first started looking, I was doing this, but notice that's just a little bit too long. If you can see how this bead goes past the red here when you're kind of lining up. So I'm going to need a little bit smaller bead than the second one. So I found this black silicone bead in my stash, and it is not as tall as that rhinestone bead. So let's look at that, and that looks like it's going to fit. So what you'll do then is you'll hold the end and the top part of the pen, that's the stationary piece, and you will unscrew it so that the rod here has threads on the top and on the bottom. And really, depending upon the pen, this top came off, but there are threads on the top of the rod where the top of the pen, and there's on the bottom here where it screws into that little hole there in your pen. So then you just want to start building your beads the way you thought. And the nice thing again on the silicone ones is they can squish down just a little bit. This black one is a silicone bead. It's not a hard plastic one like the pretty rhinestone one. So there's that. And so you can see how I cannot see the full, that's not focusing very well, the full threads on the rod. And you really want to be able to see the full length of the threads when you're putting your beads on. And so that's what I was talking about earlier on. That's nice when you have the silicone beads on your rod, because see how I can kind of squish it down so I can make sure I can see all of the threads, so that when I go to screw that cap back on, it will come on tightly. I have this little beaded charm here that I've done that I'm going to add to my pen. So I'm just going to stick that across the top like that. And then I'm going to take my little cap here. And again, you want to hold the stationary part of your pen and your lid and just twist to tighten it. So either twist the bottom or twist the top. Just how you normally twist, you know, things together when you're threading it on here. Alright, so that's tight, so I can't get that to twist anymore. So that is decorating a beaded pen. So now it will work for the person you're gifting your pen to. But that is pretty much how you decorate the pens. You just have to make sure that the beads that you plan on using fit on that rod that you have right here between the top and the bottom part of your pen. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel tonight. I really, really appreciate it. It's just been wonderful having all of this support for my channel, and I hope that you will keep coming back and watching my videos, and I hope you have a wonderful night, and God bless.